general moaning and pleasurable sounds. And so I'm recording it in my house, and you just, we're recording this, so I can't really. The guy's like, go. It's just,
Okay, give it to me, all right.
I got that job, man. I booked it. So yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
I end up making a lot of those sounds when we're recording, even though they don't want me to. But I'm like, let me just do a little moaning here, see if you can fit it in or something.
General moaning.
I'm refreshed after.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's beautiful. I got a lot going on.
So really, there's a lot to look forward to.
Yes. If that doesn't make you want to watch,
We have some great episodes. I mean, we had an episode called Sex Robot, and every time I get the scripts, right? Like every time I would get a script, I'd be like, these guys, they're geniuses, and you can get away with so much more in a cartoon than you can in a scripted, like on-camera show. So it's just so wild to be able to like just go one step further in a comedic capacity.
Thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much.
again.
So I gotta crack out the gate because Hari told me specifically that she had an interesting audition. A little bit of moaning, a little bit of groaning. The best. What inspired you?
Okay. I've known Kari for a while because we were on fish hooks together, and we had a scene where the character is sort of being very sexually aggressive. It's the crush, the hot girl at school. The whole. The protagonist's in love with this girl he can never get, the unattainable girl, and he has a dream sequence. And in the dream sequence, the Jessica character, the hot girl, is really coming on strong, and she's just ripping her top open, and she's like, just shuffle my. What did she say? Like shuffle him, move him around, beat him up, knock him around, slap him. And Morty's just like, okay, are you sure? He's just all. But anyways, the point is that and then once he starts, it's very like sexual and moaning, and that was something we had to make that poor woman do. Poor Kari, and she did it.
Job.
She did it perfectly.
Yeah, she just did it for us.
Oh, are you serious? Yeah, she's pretty good at that. It was there was a moment of looking around in the record at all the guys in the room. And we were all sort of like, all right, shake it off. It's just a cartoon character.
Here's some cold water.
Yeah, she's awesome though, man. I mean, she's not just that character. She's so many voices across the season. I mean, it's ridiculous. She's very versatile. I think she might be in every episode almost.
What kind of like started the project? How'd you get the idea?
Harmon called me up one day and just said, I'm starting an animation studio, and Mike Lazo and Adult Swim want a show from me. Lazo was a huge Community fan, and he called me. We've been friends for 10 years, and we had made things together and worked together, and all my stuff was primarily animation. So he just said, do you have any ideas right now? And I had these two characters that he was familiar with, and that was the genesis of it. And then we basically took those two characters, and we took them from what they were, which was sort of very two-dimensional, kind of just me fucking around and being stupid, and we've really added oh my god, so much depth to the characters, and we've added a family around them as well, and we've just created this really great, simple, low-concept show that's about a family, mom, dad, sister, brother, and then there's this lunatic grandpa that moves back in after being estranged for all these years. It's the mom's father, the maternal side grandpa, and he shows up and he takes the dumb son, under his wing as his sort of assistant on just the most dangerous, insane, high-stakes sci-fi shenanigans across the multiverse. And one thing we haven't talked about once.
AIDS.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we gonna do to stop it?
Well, I mean,
how can
I know
we?
what we're gonna do to stop it. We're gonna
come up with a cure.
Yeah,
we're gonna work hard.
That's the same as any disease, but like, what is the show gonna do to help that
spread
situation?
Yeah,
because it's like you're talking about all this jibber jabber about
nonsense.
Scientists
Yeah.
and all these things, and there's an epidemic happening. So
let's tell them. We're gonna do it.
The last 3 episodes are gonna be.
It's gonna be the
AIDS and monkeys.
There are codes in the last 3 episodes that we're hoping get to the right scientific minds. All they have to do is, play it backwards, kind of focus some spots in, and they'll have the cure.
That's what I don't understand why no one's done that yet.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why haven't they hidden the
backwards.
cure in a TV show?
Honestly,
I have no
that would
idea.
be pretty awesome to see. I mean, definitely. I mean, I know it's a horrible thing to say, but I think it would be great. It's all the same. A good 3-parter?
Sorry, wait, what? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I understand that sort of going into the show is kind of like a year long Back to the Future. So
Okay, yeah.
when you're doing the voices, like, to what extent are you still sort of...
I mean, it's so weird because the very first thing I ever did, it was me like pissing and shitting all over, Doc Brown and Marty McFly, but not in a sort of mean-spirited way. I was just having fun. I was like, oh, these are my shitty impressions of these characters, and then what happened is halfway through making that first one, I started to feel different. I was like, they started to take on a whole different, life of their own for me, and I was like, these characters mean more to me now than just my horrible impression, and ever since then, I've been trying to just take those voices, remove them from the caricatures of Doc and Marty, and figure out some. What can I do with them that's still kind of the core essence of that, but different enough that people aren't just going to write the show off, and be like, oh, they're just ripping off Back to the Future. We've gone out of our way to not include time travel. Is that a spoiler?
No,
okay.
I think time travel gets sloppy narratively.
It's a mess.
So it's like the one thing that Rick can't do. As far as we know.
Yeah. I mean, you just you can't do that. But I mean, the voices are still. I mean, I think that they've maybe, like any voice. I mean, when you get through a full season, they start to kind of get perfected and adjusted, and certainly the characters are so much more. There's so much more behind the character now that behind both of them that it's changed the performance from like my balls, Morty. Morty, you have to lick my balls. Hurry. I'm like, oh, jeez, Rick. I don't know if I should lick your balls.
On Community, the Alison Brie's character on Community started as just a ripoff of Reese Witherspoon's character in Election. That's all I knew she was. I just needed somebody to play the straight-laced, uptight kind of type A personality. But then it's what happens is characters they are living things because they have lives, and you do more episodes and you just learn more about them, and they become totally. You start to go, oh, I know who this is. This is me, or this is like my uncle.
And then from there you just flesh out and extend. And from there you just flesh out and extend from there. Is that normally your process? I mean, I think that's with anything, but as you're going throughout each episode, each season, you see a clearer version of how you want the end game to be, where you want to go.
I mean, we approached the season not in a serialized sense. I mean, we just went in with a bunch of different ideas, and the season's very episodic. I mean, it's super episodic, but we do happen to have some kind of overarching serialized elements. I hope I'm answering the question. Okay, yeah. But yeah. That's. I mean, every episode stands alone as its own point of entry, in my opinion. There might be one that's sort of going to be like a weird one to jump into, but for the most part, you could watch any episode and follow a story and know who the characters are and that's not something that we really went out of our way to achieve. It's something we had in mind.
I consider that a really responsible thing to do with TV. I feel like that's the equivalent of putting a railing on your deck. If you're building a deck in your backyard, it's just like, do you technically need it? No, it would be a deck anyway. But it's like, if you're a good person making a good deck, you put a rail on there. And if you're making TV and you care about your audience, you kind of modularize the stories so that I look at it like it's like pearls on a necklace. Like, yeah, they all go together, and but you should be able to technically watch them in any order. You know, you should be able to like look at each one as its own little gem, even though the whole thing can be held. And
you guys know about pearl necklaces, right?
Yeah,
of course, in so many different fashions.
And on that, okay.
Turning off your Nintendo and going outside
on a real boat.
I mean,
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Star Wars did the thing where they are trying to reinvent itself for the new generation, so that way the kids grow up.